The battered escape pod hurtles through space, its occupants holding on for dear life. Inside are Ellen Ripley, Newt, and Corporal Dwayne Hicks. The trio survived the events on LV-426 and managed to escape. However, due to some systems malfunction on the USS Sulaco, they were ejected from the vessel. As the escape pod hurtles through space, luckily for some reason Ripley woke up from her hypersleep, she initiates the escape pod's distress beacon. Then from the corner of her eye she sees a facehugger skittle across the escape pod. Ripley, who has formed a strong bond with Newt and Hicks, clutches them protectively. The escape pod shudders as it enters the atmosphere of Fiorina 161, the inhospitable prison planet. Lucky for them, this made it too hard for the facehugger to latch one. With a tense expressions, they brace for impact. The escape pod crashes into the rocky terrain, sending up a cloud of dust. Ripley, Newt, and Hicks quickly emerge from the pod, battered but alive. They take in their new surroundings, an industrial wasteland dotted with the remains of an old foundry. Without any weapons, they distance themselves from the craft. For all they know, there could be more inside.
We need to find a way off this rock. The distress signal might bring someone to rescue us.
If we can secure the escape pod, I'll do what I can to repair it, but it won't be easy. But we need weapons first.
Newt, scared but still holding on to her newfound family, nods determinedly.
We can do it, right?
Ripley gives her a reassuring smile.
Absolutely, we've faced worse before.
A brief flashback reveals the events that led to this moment. An alien egg, the Sulaco catching on fire, emergency protocols activating. The escape pod containing Ripley, Newt, and Hicks was ejected from the Sulaco, the Colonial Marines ship. Unbeknownst to them, the alien queen had secretly laid eggs in the dropship bay, ensuring the continuation of her species. As the Sulaco departs LV-426, during the alert, the pod is jettisoned with the alien queen's offspring on board. However, the flashback gets interrupted. Suddenly, a group of inmates from the prison facility approaches, led by Dylan, a charismatic and strong-willed man.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Ellen Ripley. This is Newt, and he's Corporal Hicks. We were on a mission and crash-landed here.
Dylan eyes them cautiously, but something about Ripley's presence and her fighting spirit gives him pause.
All right, I'll take you to Andrews. He's in charge here.
The group makes their way through the desolate landscape, eventually arriving at the prison facility. Andrews, the stern and pragmatic warden, studies Ripley, Newt, and Hicks as they recount their experiences with the aliens. Though skeptical at first, Andrews becomes convinced of the threat they face. Meanwhile, people across the facility have started to turn up dead and missing, so it'd be hard to ignore the cold, hard facts.
We can't let those things get off this rock.
Over time, Ripley, Newt, and Hicks earn the trust and respect of the prisoners. They form an uneasy alliance to combat the alien threat that now lurks within the facility. While Hicks and a resourceful prisoner named Morse work together to repair the escape pod, they scavenge parts from the prison's machinery and manage to restore basic functionality to the pod.
We should have enough power for a single short burst. It might be enough to get us out of the atmosphere.
Morse nods in agreement, his respect for Hicks growing. Meanwhile, Ripley addresses the prisoners, explaining the situation and the imminent threat they all face.
The alien is here. It's been hunting us since LV-426, and it won't stop until we're all dead. But if we work together, we can survive.
The prisoners exchange glances, realizing the gravity of the situation.
We've faced worse in our lives. If you're with us, we're with you.
The prisoners rally behind Ripley, Newt, and Hicks, forming a formidable force to take on the alien threat. After losing a few good men to the alien, Ripley and a team of prisoners venture deep into the underground tunnels to hunt down the alien. The tension is palpable as they navigate through the darkness, armed and ready. The encounter with the alien is intense, but through teamwork and Ripley's expertise, they manage to capture it inside the tunnel complex.
We can't let this thing escape. It's killed too many.
Dylan steps forward, looking at Ripley with newfound admiration.
Then we'll kill it, for all our sakes.
During this moment of victory, they hear a prisoner's scream coming from one of the distant tunnels. Realizing too late, it wasn't just one alien. There were more of them. Ripley, Hicks, and the prisoners launch a daring assault on the alien nest deep within the prison. The tension is palpable as they advance. Morse sacrifices himself to save Ripley and Newt during a fierce confrontation with a facehugger, and his death strengthens their resolve to end the threat once and for all. In a climactic battle, they confront the monstrous alien queen and her spawn. The final confrontation is intense and grueling. The prisoners fight bravely, but the aliens prove to be a formidable opponent. The fight is intense, with casualties on both sides. However, the future looks bleak as the morale of the prisoners gets low. While the xenomorphs are relentless and without fear, some prisoners sacrifice themselves to ensure Hicks can reach the heart of the nest, as he sets explosives, determined to end the threat once and for all. With the nest set to explode, Hicks tries to get out but was spotted by the alien queen. She charges at him, but Hicks triggers the detonator, causing a massive explosion that engulfs the nest. As the dust settles and the nest crumbles, the facility lies in ruins, but the survivors emerge from the wreckage. The surviving prisoners regroup near the repaired escape pod. They see Ripley and Newt approaching.
Hicks.
He didn't make it.
As they board the escape pod, firing up the engines, the crowd of survivors all of a sudden cheer as a figure walks up to them.
You were going to leave without me?
As our heroes reunite, the countdown on the pod engine starts, leaving them little time to say goodbye. Dylan and the remaining prisoners solemnly salute the trio, recognizing their heroism as the escape pod ignites its thrusters, hurtling away from Fiorina 161. Ripley, Newt, and Hicks watch as the prison planet shrinks in the distance.
I hope it won't be another 57 years before they find us.
It'll be fine.
As they drift away from the prison planet, they carry with them the memory of those who gave their lives in the fight against the alien menace.